Okay, go play. Go play.
Hello everybody out there, how's things going today? It's a frosty day here in Saskatchewan. Last night Jack Frost was busy. All the trees are painted white this morning. Winter's my least favorite season, but days like this make me happy to be alive. It's beautiful. I like when there's hoar frosts on the trees here. Also means we got nice warm weather. Shortens our winter up. Like I said, my least favorite season. Plus it means we're a long way still away from the regular season starting up in the CFL. But there's always something to do in the CFL, and it's free agent time. Been walking around shopping yesterday, and lots of people see I'm with my rider gear and say, hey, we got a new coach, what do you think? Everybody seems to be upbeat. Ran into a few people out here walking the path, same thing. New coach. Well, that's just the start. That's just the start. Now we gotta fill in all the blanks. A lot of work to be done in the off season here with the new coach. That means all new assistant coaches, and nothing filled there for sure yet. And new players. It's free agent time. And yeah, that'll be up to O'Day and his 5 assistants there. Paul Jones, Kyle Carson, I think's another one, Jordan Greenlee, John Kinsley, all on the still on the salary, coach's salary cap. And these are your guys. That's O'Day's job and his boys up in the top there. And I'm willing to give him a chance. He really didn't have a chance to actually pick the coach he wanted and the way he wanted things to go. He was just more or less gifted it. And when he had to take Dickinson, hands were tied there too. Except for maybe last year, before the season, he could have dumped Dickinson. But he didn't. I think that was his biggest mistake. Like I said, that's what he's got to do now, is find us some free agents, sign our free agents that we want. And because a coach, of course, is only as good as the talent he's given to work with. That all being said, I'll start off with what I consider the meat and potatoes of any football team. Your offense and defensive lines. And who's up for free agent there, and who, just our list. I won't go over who they can pick up yet. That's still a lot. Like, I have to wait until later in February. They've got until I think the 10th of February, somewhere in there, to sign before other teams can sign your players. We've signed a couple of the offensive linemen already. They signed Zach Fry, young kid there, 23, and Evan Florin. He's another up-and-comer, 23. Canadians. They're both signed. I think the top guy they're going to try to sign first is probably Logan Furland. He's been around for a while. He's a free agent this year. He actually played pretty good. And so is Evan Johnson, a free agent. To me, he was the weakest that I watched anyway of the guards and the Canadians. And another one is Philip Blake. That was a big loss. It was one of our free agent signings by O'Day, and he ended up getting hurt before anything even got going, really, and was out most of the season, which I think really hurt our offensive line chances. That's why I give O'Day a chance. He did bring in a lot of guys. I was at camp last year, and there was a ton of them in the offensive area trying out, but we ended up with a guy like Jordan Tucker. He's an American, only 24. I really like that guy. I like guys that he was the first guy out for practice and one of the last guys to leave, and he'd be doing drills all by himself and have the odd guy giving him pointers. I liked his get up and go. And another guy we had was Hawkins. He's an American. He's 30, and I think they had him as one of the guys slotted in at tackle, and he got injured, you know. So it was just one thing after the other. And even Kelly, you know, he's been around the league quite a while. He's a free agent. Whether you sign him, I don't know. I'm 50-50 on him. One American I don't think I'd be bringing back is Brandon Council. He's not a free agent, but I don't even know. I don't know. I wasn't a fan of his all season, really. And another guy we still got on contract is one of our free agent signings too last year, Godber, the center. He didn't overly impress me, but he didn't seem to hurt us too bad. And you're gonna have to keep him. He's a Canadian. That's where you fill in most of your Canadian contact. Well, majority of the CFL teams fill in their content, their Canadian contact at offensive line, and so a lot of times these guys get a pass. That's why I consider Logan Furlan one of our top needs on the offensive line, and why you want to actually look at Evan Johnson. He's a local and hangs around Saskatchewan. But like I said, you've got to go out. O'Day has to go out and find us some prospects at the outside, the tackle positions on the offensive line. We need to be more powerful there. And I don't know who we can grab. It's on the free agent list right now, but we have to strengthen up our tackles big time. That's where they use Americans, and somehow we have to find somebody, and that'll be up to O'Day, that's for sure. And we move on to the defensive line, and that's another big part of your team is your defensive line, which is going to help with Corey Mace, our new head coach. That's exactly where he played, and he knows what has to happen. He was a defensive line coach and then moved on to be a defensive coordinator. Yeah, it looks so nice with these. I don't know if the camera picks it up, but all the beautiful hoarfrost. You can maybe see that in the distance back there. Just beautiful, just beautiful. But back to the defensive line. Yeah, that's another, we need powerhouse there. And I think the biggest controversy there is our two free agents that might come up is Lanier and Pete Robertson. Like, they're both free agents, and Lanier was our highest paid guy last year, and he just didn't perform. And he was hurt a lot of times too, and I think he was playing hurt, but everybody plays hurt, but I think he was, give him the benefit of the doubt. But how much do you sign him for? You know, Be interesting if we can hold on to him. A lot of people get pissed off. Oh, why didn't we keep this guy? Oh, he's playing for them now. Look at, he's a star. Well, a lot of these things fit into the equation. You know, how much you're willing to pay this guy to rob to pay that guy. And like, I didn't really like how Pete performed this year either, but if you look at the statistics, Pete played a few more games, but he was one of our leading tacklers, and on the line for sure. Well, back to those D linemen. The train's kind of noise that kind of went down here. We got on the free agent, that's Miles Brown and DeMarcus Christmas are both on the free agent list. A lot of people think Christmas played better than Miles Brown, but I think Miles Brown had more sacks. He's only 26. Christmas is only 28. They're both right in their prime for age, but Christmas played pretty damn good, and so did Brown. And actually, Brown had more sacks and more tackles, I think, and played pretty good up there. And then you got Mika Johnson. He's up there in age. I think he probably played some time with Mace, the coach. It'd be nice to have him as a playing coach and somehow rig that up. But you know, his production really didn't go down that much for his age, and you could keep him just even to play halftime and be really handy to teach the young guys. He's been in the league a while. He played with Hamilton and Calgary. We had him before. But the big question again is between Lanier and Pete Robertson. It'll be interesting if they can sign them for the right amount of money. But that's the hard part now for the general manager, is fit all these guys into the pie chart. And with that pie chart, it can change around a lot depending how much you have to sign each guy. And that all goes back to your quarterback. Talk a bit about them now. Yeah, with the quarterbacks, you know, way back when old Mike Riley, or they want to be called Michael Riley, you know, he was the one that started this circus with paying quarterbacks the big bucks. You know, he got $575,000 way back when he left the Edmonton to go with BC Lions, and that what started the whole circus. Like right now, we're tied up with Harris, and I think he's close to the 600K. And you look at last season, you know, the team that won the Grey Cup, Cody renegotiated with Montreal, and I think he was only around 375, and he wins the Grey Cup. And look at Adams, I think he was only 285, and he leads his team to a good chance to get to the Cup. So that goes to show you, you know, if you can sign a quarterback and not waste all your money on one player, like at 600K, you're pushing 10% of your salary cap on one player. And here's that stupid place here. It's hard to go down. Hang on with me. But anyway, you know, and all the rest of them, you know, are up around the 475. The guys that wasted the most money on a quarterback was Hamilton, picking up Bo. I think he was 525, somewhere in there, and hardly had a good game, or didn't even play a full game. That was a big waste of money. Mazzoli, you know, he's around the 475 mark. Like, that's, I think, the most you should pay a quarterback, myself. Give him around 450, and then with incentives, if he makes this all-star and if he gets so many yards, put incentives in there. But with us, both Dolegala and Fine are both free agents. Anybody watch the channel know I'm leaning more towards Dolegala. And Fine's good, but I don't know. Right, I would go with Dolegala. We've already signed Pipkin. Hi, Reddy. How you doing? Oh yeah, play some. Find any squirrel?
Not yet.
No?
I'm sure we'll find some.
Yeah, there's always squirrels. Have a good day. Yeah, we've already signed Pipkin. They used him a lot in the short yardage. But I don't know if he would be good enough to keep playing all the time. That's unknown. He's been around the league too. But there's lots of quarterbacks out there. They're free agents. Arbuckle with Ottawa. Lossley, Schlitz with Hamilton. The best probably one out there is Drew Brown from Winnipeg. He'll be an interesting prospect. And Calgary already signed that big guy. I got a feeling he's going to be the starter for Calgary next year. That's Stevens. Great big guy. He does their short yardage. And he'd be a heck of a quarterback there. I'm not really a Mayer fan, and he gets paid pretty good bucks too. But Dane Evans and Dominique Davis, they're both free agents with BC. But that's about all I got to say about quarterbacks. As if we could have signed one for less money. But we're already tied in with Harris. Like I said, is a big chunk of our salary cap. And I don't know if I'd make that mistake if I was a GM. I wouldn't sign for that much money. I'd do that incentive contracts if I could. That's about it for now. I'll work on those other guys that we got on the free agent list later on in the week here. But like I said, everybody seems to be quite happy now with the choice with Corey Mace. And I was either way. I like the idea of a defensive guy, because that's who I think wins football games, is the defense. Just have a mediocre offense, but if you have the best defense, give them good field position and take the ball away, and even score some points for you, you're going to win a lot of games. And I just hope, you know, like when the season does start, that they give Corey Mace a little bit of room, because it's going to take a while to get things set up and running the way he wants to do it. And it's a big change going from the defensive coordinator to a head coach. You have to have a lot of help on the sidelines, you know, like making calls when you should be challenging plays and everything like that, and whether you should kick a field goal or whether you should gamble. You know, there's a lot of decisions the head coach has to make, and now this is his first crack at the kitty for doing that, and so you're gonna have to give him a little leeway. And I hope fans do give him some leeway. Right now they're all gung-ho and saying it was a great move, but we'll see once the season starts. I think as long as he can field a competitive team, and I think that was the problem with our team last season especially, is they just didn't seem to even show up. I think when I lost all confidence last year was when we played Montreal the first time in Montreal, and the team absolutely crapped the bed. They were terrible, and I just lost it. And right from then on in, I had a bad feeling in my stomach we were going downhill. But till next time, I'll get back to you as soon as I look at the defensive backs, and our receiver core and the linebackers, because that front seven on defense is very important. Anyway, thanks for watching again, and hope you stayed to the end. And I'd like to thank everybody that's subscribed so far. Got a lot of subscribers that I never thought I'd have, and it feels good. And I really enjoy all the comments. So in the comments, tell me who you'd keep with our free agent guys out there. Because a lot of people know a hell of a lot more than me, and I really like reading the comments, and any info I can find, the better. And that goes with other teams too. I like knowing what happens with other teams, because that's what it's going to come down to in the end, is who's going to bid for what. Because after February there, when they can start signing with everybody else, that's when it really shows up. Like a guy like Logan Furlan, he might wait until see what offers are out there. I don't blame him. You only got so many years in the league to make your money, and you're out. And that's it. Well, anyway, till next time, thanks a lot. Appreciate every one of you out there that watches, and go Riders go.